In Central America, there's a small country that in 1948 was the first nation in the world to take the unprecedented step of abolishing its own army. That country is Costa Rica, and the visionary that led them at the time was named Jose Figueres. Americans today know Costa Rica as a tropical paradise that they dream of vacationing to, but few know much about this interesting political history. I'm a Costa Rican citizen, and my grandfather and great-grandfather both knew Figueres personally. When civil war began in Costa Rica, Figueres would become a general, go on to become the interim president, and abolish the army and establish many social programs that Costa Ricans still benefit from today. Let's look a little closer at how a civil war ended up in the abolishment of the army. In 1948, there was a contested election. This election led to civil war, which I'm symbolizing the two opposing sides in the war with these two red candles. This is the story of how a coffee farmer, a non-military man, would become the leader of a revolution. In a 2010 article, Nancy Smith wrote, titled, MIT's Costa Rican President, on the website of the Michigan Institute of Technology. He wrote that Figueres was educated at MIT in the United States. According to a 2014 article by Victoria Cooney on the National Endowment of the Humanities website entitled The First Lady of a Revolution, in 1948, Figueres was in exile in Mexico with his first wife for speaking out against an increasingly authoritarian government. When Costa Rica's democracy was threatened, Figueres rose up to lead the people in a popular revolution. That is symbolized by the freedom of, this is a macaw feather, a common bird found in Costa Rica, and the flight of the macaw is going to symbolize the fight for freedom in this case. An article by Parker and Staffinger titled Costa Rica in the 21st Century on the Encyclopedia Britannica's website, last updated March 2020, states that Calderón Guardia lost the election but refused to acknowledge the results of the election and tried to hold on to power. The 2017 documentary film, A Bold Peace, produced by Al Jubitz and directed by Matthew Eddy and Michael Derlinger, shows how Figueres came to lead the people against Calderón Guardia and was victorious. Now that we've heard the events leading up to and during the Civil War, let's see what Figueres did after he gained power. After the war, he was established as the interim president. During this time, Figueres is credited with starting many far-sighted social programs. Besides abolishing the army, he granted women and African Caribbean peoples the ability to vote, and according to Smith 2010, his new government also wrote the new constitution. After serving as interim president for 18 months, Figueres stepped down and ceded power to Ulate, who was the rightful winner of the election. Figueres would go on to become elected the president of Costa Rica 2 more times, once in 1953 and again in 1970. Today, more than half a century later, the legacy of Figueres is still visible in many aspects of Costa Rican society. Social programs established during this period have benefited many Costa Rican people, including myself. This is a copy of my Costa Rican driver's license, and I am a beneficiary of many of the programs that were established during this period. Figueres, according to the documentary A Bold Peace, Figueres oversaw massive social reforms that included many social security measures. Social programs, including nationalized healthcare and education, were paid for in part by funds that would have otherwise been attributed to the Army. This year, Costa Rica declared December 1st a national holiday. In a May 2020 article titled Costa Rica Declares December 1st a Holiday Celebrating Abolition of the Army, found on the website of the Costa Rican newspaper Atico Times, I read that the Costa Rican president, Carlos Alvarado, signed into legislation to make this day an official holiday. In the same article, I read that this year will be the 72nd anniversary of the abolition of the Costa Rican Army. If President Figueres had lived today, if President Figueres had done what he did in a larger country, the world would know his name as a transcendent political figure. Costa Ricans today honor the legacy of something that was unique to mankind. A victorious general who came to power through war and abolished his own army. By abolishing the army, he was able to ensure funding for social and health programs that are widely credited for the stability enjoyed in Costa Rica today. Thank you.